Good morning, everybody. This is Michael coming to you from GammaEdge on Tuesday, October 29th with our pre-market morning strategy and briefing session. We'll go ahead and jump right into it. Three pillars here at GammaEdge: sentiment, structure, and trend. We'll start with the trend. As you see here is the MTM market model. We continue in a downward slope. Ribbon continues to the downside, red below cyan. And bolded CT, which is our 1 to 3 day moving or look, is below the moving averages. So we continue to the downside. Obviously, sellers are in control of the overall market. So at the very least, we'd need to see a close above the previous day close up towards here and move above the moving averages for have some sort of type reversal pattern. But then again, we're under all the colored ribbons. So again, that would be prone to failure. So at this time, it's not advisable, obviously paper trading accounts, but not advisable to be putting significant capital to work on the long side as we're in an overall consolidation range with the MTM market model bearish tag combos for the day. We're going to full complex here, SPX for the day. Range is drawn here, transition 58.20 to 58.50. You'll notice this theme come across pretty regularly across all the expiries here. We all are call dominated, sorry, on the full complex. So it's still a bullish structure in that overall look. 5,800 extremely important here to the downside, and then we have 57.90, 57.85. So we'll continue to watch this. Obviously, in the money calls below us. Any money calls, or sorry, OTM calls above us, call speculation. We do have PGX at 58.50, but these individual gradient and strikes that we're watching. So for me, range bound 5,800 to 58.50. We've been in that overall range really for the past about the 14 days. We did drop below 5,800 just very quickly, but then buyers stepped in. So I'm just going to be continuing to watch that range of 5,800 to 58.50, see if we get any directional move out of that range. If not, it's probably going to be status quo, just chop within the overall transition and just a sideways structure. Huge earnings week, obviously, so we'll see how that plays out. And then obviously we have the election next week. So lots of noise on the horizon. I think overall positioning is probably just stagnant, not really directionally wise. People just waiting until all the volatility and news and noise start to clear out. Here's the SPX delta balance. Obviously, we see today strong bear, left-hand plane weak bull. That's in the money calls below spot price. The right-hand plane, we've seen this erosion just continue on every pullback in the overall market. We've seen buyers step in and just can push price a little bit higher, but we just don't see that significant OTM call speculation. We do seem to see that change on Wednesday and Wednesday at least, and then Thursday we're back to that right-hand plane weak bear, and then Friday right-hand plane weak bear. So we do see just blips quickly back and forth of that OTM call speculation, but then it erodes pretty quickly as price moves up, and most likely those call holders take profit really quickly. So they're not looking to hold for a significant amount of time. The other side of the coin is we do not see a significant amount of OTM put speculation to the downside. So not expecting some sort of massive pullback in the overall market. It's really just this push-pull type thing of left-hand plane in the money calls, right-hand plane in the money puts, and then really we're just at the mercy of the 0DT trading back and forth within the overall range. Delta balance for the SPY, we kind of see the same thing here. Strong bull left-hand plane, so in the money call holders staying pat. Right-hand plane, OTM call speculation is weak. And then Wednesday, obviously, we see it's bearish. And then Thursday and Friday seems to improve a little bit. We do see the GEX ratio continue to pull down. Obviously, call denominator versus put denominator, that ratio. But we do just continue to see price go sideways. So as we've discussed before, this is a good look as the GEX ratio just kind of goes sideways to reset, but then the price action is actually going sideways. So will the price action catch up with the GEX ratio, or will the GEX ratio just stay sideways as it continues to reset with the price action? So we'll continue to monitor that day over day. QQQs, a little bit stronger, at least for today, compared to the SPY and SPX. So if you're looking to trade stocks 0DT intraday, obviously I'd be looking at the Qs. Delta balance for, the call dom del true scan had a significant amount of the liquidity stocks and the Mag 7 stocks that still had call dominated delta balance. So those would be the first stocks I would look at. But we do see a little bit weaker towards Thursday on the Qs. So again, GEX ratio just kind of hanging out, not really doing anything, and price continues sideways. So really not a significant indication of directional change in the overall cues there. Zero DTE, we'll jump into that. Put dominated as we start the day. Obviously, we'll be watching the net stack command that's automated. For the SPXP, we do have OTM puts and then ITM puts. So we do our put dominated. We'll see if one of these flips throughout the day. 5820 to 5850, we've kind of already discussed that. 5800 to the downside on the below spot price would be an area I'd look for stalling or supportive type action. Transition very narrow, which is unambiguous. Drunken Sailor range, we've drawn it at 5820 to 5850. You see those two gradients there. Obviously, delta, right-hand plane, left-hand plane. And then we have Charm. OTM calls, those will continue to grow throughout the day. Obviously, those are much larger than the OTM puts. So that will be a ceiling and heavyweight to overhead to try to get through. So again, kind of just the same status quo day over day. This push pull, we do have put dominated, but we do have ranges. And then on the overall full complex, we have in the money calls below us, which are still supportive. So again, not likely that we have some significant move down. We did see a spike down towards 57.75 last week, but again, just within that overall range. Plus one DTE call dominated, which is good. OI 240,000. Then we see back to that locked horns type look of in the money calls, or sorry, this is call dominated. Sorry, in the money calls, OTM calls. We'll continue to watch that 5800, 5850, same range we discussed. So really no change there with the market really not looking like it wants to move above or below any of these ranges that are pretty well set. You just see the hodgepodge here. We do see some OTM call speculation, but then you have in the money puts above. So moneyness matters. Just a small move in price could bring in the money puts OTM puts in the money. So again, that could push this put dominated very quickly. So again, really just back and forth action, push pull. Even though you are call dominated, it's just you don't have a significant amount of OTM call speculation to drive price up or have a path higher. So we'll continue to watch that also. So jump into our thesis for today. 5820 to 5850, that's that drunken sailor range we've drawn. I've drawn a larger range, obviously down towards 5775, 5800, extremely important negative GEX sitting there. And then to the top side, 5850, 5860. If you bring a little TA in, really just that massive range. And I would anticipate us to stay really range bound. Even if we lose the lower range at 5820, you could short down towards 5800, depending on what the MTM looks like. But then I anticipate some sort of stalling, most likely buyers stepping in at 5780, 5790, somewhere around in there. If we do start to lose 5780, 5790, then I'd look for 5760, 5750. But again, unless we see a significant OTM put speculation via vol-M, or Vol-D, we'll probably not have a massive move down in the overall market. So really just kind of status quo, range bound, chop back and forth. Individual names are highly likely to move more than the overall SPX and SPY. So I'd be watching obviously the liquidity stocks and the stocks that are, if you're looking for upside and the MTM starts to turn, those stocks that are call dominated. And then if you're looking for downside, obviously I'm looking for those stocks that are put dominated, at least in the delta column also via the scan. So, all right, that's all I have for today. Again, just watch intraday vol-M command. We'll be watching the MTM to see if it continues with the weakness, but really just kind of status quo and range bound is my thesis for today. So, all right, thanks everybody. We'll see you in the Discord in just a few minutes.